Hey guys, today we're going to be chatting about some new makeup releases, and even though I'm kind of on a low buy right now, I still love makeup. Obviously, I still love looking at what's new, what's coming out, and yeah, it does tempt me sometimes and make me want to buy stuff, but I've been trying to look at things more with a critical eye, and that's what we're going to do in today's video. And if you enjoy this style of video, please let me know because I can make it a regular thing. I don't really have anybody in my life that I can talk to about makeup that's as into it as I am. So sometimes just sitting down and talking through all of these new releases with other people can really help. And of course, I welcome your comments as always. Let me know what you're thinking about these new releases, and I'll try to respond back to as many of you as I can. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. I'm going to start with some posts by Trend Mood of products that haven't launched yet but have been teased, and then we'll get into some things that have just already released recently. So let's start with this first one. And you know, I was sitting around the other day wondering what could we use more of in the makeup world, and it hit me: bronzing drops, right? There's like such a lack of bronzing drops out there on the market right now, and I'm saying that in the most sarcastic way possible. These are the new ones from Westman Atelier, and they are $58. I mean, I get that this is a luxury brand, but considering the fact that almost every other brand, including drugstore brands, has bronzing drops out already, and Westman Atelier is extremely late to the party with this one, I think it's going to be pretty easy to find what you're looking for without spending almost $60 on this little bottle of bronzing drops. You know, once the Drunk Elephant ones went viral a couple years ago and so many started flooding the market, I think you could pretty much find them at every price point. I mean, I don't love everything e.l.f. has done, for example, but I think their bronzing drops are actually really good. So do they say what actually makes these unique or worth $58? Let's see. All right, so they say they're matte, which is kind of interesting. I feel like a lot of the bronzing drops that are out there now have more of like a shimmery or glowy finish. But if you look at the swatch photos, like I'll just put a picture up here, to me, they don't really look overly matte. It's kind of confusing, right? Like to me, they kind of look like the other ones that we've seen out there with like just a hint of a glow. One of my personal favorites is the Glossier Cloud Paint bronzing drops. It's not really bronzing drops, it's a liquid bronzer, but it's really thin and serum-like. That one is fantastic, and it's $22. So if you don't like the shimmer, I think that's an amazing option. And even contour, like liquid contours, not all of them have that cool gray undertone. You can find some that are a little bit warmer and you could use as a bronzer that would be matte. So what do you guys think? Are you over bronzing drops? I definitely am. I wish that brands would start to go back to more powder bronzers, and especially maybe working on their shade ranges, because as someone with fair skin, it is so hard to find a bronzer that's not going into Oompa Loompa territory. So I would love if they would just work on the shade ranges in general for all skin tones. But all of this to say, I just feel like these bronzing drops came out a little bit too late. I think they're late to the party, like I said. And I think, you know, as we head into spring now is the time when tons of new bronzers are going to be launching. So it'll be interesting to see what the other brands are coming out with. We're probably going to see a lot of SPF in the coming months as well. So I guess we'll have to stay tuned for that. But this is something that I definitely will not be purchasing. Next up, we have this new skin tint from Milk Makeup, and I have to say this one has me a little bit intrigued. It's called the Hydro Grip Gel Skin Tint, and it's supposed to be a gel texture that has 12-hour wear, light coverage, and a dewy finish. And it's also supposed to not settle into fine lines and feel weightless on the skin. So, I mean, yeah, we don't really need any more skin tints on the market. I think that's pretty saturated as well. But what kind of captured my interest with this one is that most skin tints are notoriously greasy and slide off your face. And I say this as somebody with really dry skin, but so many of them just have that really sticky feel, and heading into the summer months especially, I don't want that. So something that's a really weightless, light gel texture, it kind of sounds a little bit interesting. And also, if this has their Hydro Grip technology and really gives 12-hour wear, I think that would be pretty unique for a skin tint. Most of them don't last very long on your skin, but I'm already anticipating if this product ends up going viral when it does officially launch, cue all of the other brands that are going to start coming out with Hydro Grip skin tints like e.l.f. and all the other brands that have copied Milk Makeup as far as the gripping primer goes. I mean, honestly, Milk Makeup, one thing I appreciate about them is that they innovate. Like, they do come out with products that are different and that end up getting copied by all of the other brands. So even though I don't love every product they come out with, I can appreciate that they do release unique things. But one thing that I found interesting is when I was looking at the Trend Mood posts and I was going through some of the comments, there were a bunch of them near the top from people who have seemingly tried this already. And some of them were influencers whose names I recognize, but others just seemed like regular people with normal Instagram accounts that are not influencers. So again, I think they might have gotten it from one of those companies like Influencer, but they were all kind of saying the same thing, which was odd to me. So I just want to show you some of those comments really quick. One of them says, "I love knowing about things for months and watching them leak. Can confirm it's very good." Another one said, "Is the secret out? Have been using it and it is so good." This one says, "I had a sneaky sample of this in my back pocket for a minute and it's amazing." Another one says, "Can also confirm it's really good." Or this one, "Can confirm it is in fact iconic and y'all will be gagged." So just looking at these comments, they're all kind of using the same language, like "can confirm it's really good." To me, this looks a little bit suspect. I wonder if this was part of the deal with Influencer or whatever company they got this from, that they had to post a comment on social media, because I don't get things through those companies anymore. I used to, like way back when, even before I had my channel, but sometimes they'll tell you, okay, you have to go like post a review online on Sephora or Ulta and then take a screenshot of it and prove that you did it. And that's where we get all those incentivized reviews from, right? But this product hasn't launched yet. It's not on any websites. So I wonder if part of the deal this time was that, you know, Trend Mood or whoever was going to post about it and then you all have to comment. It just seems so weird to me. But then again, it might be organic. They might just be really excited because they've been using it. Who knows? But, you know, I do get PR from Milk Makeup. So if they send this over my way at some point, I will definitely try it. I'm just super curious to know if the Hydro Grip aspect is a gimmick or if it really works. So, all right, next up, in a twist that we never saw coming, I'm just kidding, we saw this from miles away, is the NYX Buttermelt Highlighter. It was honestly only a matter of time. I mean, they did the bronzers, they did the blushes. Highlighter is obviously next, although I would like to see them come out with maybe a Buttermelt foundation. That sounds really good. Or a concealer or lipstick. Buttermelt lipsticks. That would be really good, right? They'd be nice and smoothing and hydrating. I could get on board with it, but all jokes aside, I love the bronzers. I love the blushes. I think the highlighters will probably be really good because they are honestly some of the smoothest formula at the drugstore and just in general. But that being said, I'm just not a highlighter person anymore. I never was really into highlighter, but as I get older and I have more texture on my skin, I've been trying to avoid things that are overly glowy. So highlighter is one of those things. I typically want that more blurry matte look these days. So I'm sure these are going to be beautiful highlighters. I'm not personally going to buy them, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you wear highlighter? Are you excited about these? Let us know down in the comments. All right, what's next? What's next? Oh yeah. We have the $60 drugstore palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. These, oh my gosh, everybody's saying that they look like drugstore because of the packaging. And honestly, I don't disagree. Can't you see that like rose gold logo that's on the front kind of rubbing off and looking really worn after touching it a couple times with your fingers and using it? Or, you know, I can hear like the squeak of the plastic on these, you know, like that telltale drugstore palette squeak, like when you open them. That's what these look like to me. And I know packaging is not everything. What's inside is what counts. I get it. And I guess if you want to look at it in a positive way, these are practical because you can see the colors right through and it's easy to grab the right one. You don't have to open the palette to see what it is. But if I am paying $60 for a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, it better be gorgeous. It better be heavy, luxurious, all of the things. Packaging is supposed to be one of those excuses that luxury brands have for driving up the price. And if you're not gonna do that, then I feel like you can't charge that much. They better be the best eyeshadows on the market, but we all know that's probably not the case. I mean, I've tried Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows. They're fine, but they aren't like the greatest eyeshadow ever. I actually saw Morgan Turner talk about these on her channel and they looked fine. They look okay. But just being real, I mean, ColourPop has some really great 9-pan palettes in pretty much every color of the rainbow, and a lot of them are very monochromatic, just like these are. And even if you want to get a little more expensive, Sigma has some really great 9-pan palettes as well that are half the price of these. I think they're $29. So I can say with absolute certainty, I will not be buying these. And I don't have anything against buying a $60 palette, but on those times when I do occasionally splurge on luxury products, I want it to be that luxury experience, and that includes beautiful packaging, like a heavy, weighty type of feel to it. And I feel like with these, even that's taken away, so I'm not even tempted at all with these. All right, so next up, remember the Maybelline Bouncy blush that came out in 2012? I loved those, and it seems like they're being reincarnated now by Rare Beauty. They even have the same name, Bouncy blush. And according to the website, they claim to be a cream to powder blush with a velvety putty texture, and they supposedly are coming out on March 27th. But am I crazy, or were these available on the Sephora website last week? I just looked today and they're all sold out, and it says they're coming soon. So maybe it was just like a sneak peek or a preview or something. I don't know what's going on, but I have been saying for years that Maybelline should bring back their Bouncy blushes, because I think in today's market, they would sell really well. I remember everybody being a little confused by them back when they came out, because it was a texture that really we hadn't seen before. But now e.l.f. has the putty blushes, ColourPop has the Super Shocks. They all kind of seem like a similar type of putty concept. So really, if you think about it, there are already a lot of products like this on the market. And I did look at some of the reviews on the Sephora website, and I saw one in particular that said that she tried several of the shades and all of them looked the same. Let me see if I can find that comment really quick. Yeah, she said, I bought all 4 colors that dropped in the early release and I was so excited but ended up being disappointed. They all blend out into the exact same shade on me. You can put 2 different colors on the cheeks and no one will be able to tell the difference. So yeah, I know exactly what this person's talking about, because there have been times when I tried on an entire blush range in a video and I would get tons of comments saying all of these blushes look pretty much the same when you blend them out. And when I watched the video back, it really did. So in this case, I feel like it might be best to just buy one color, whatever one you're interested in. I mean, if that is truly the case, I guess we'll have to see as more people review them if they feel the same way. But I admit I'm a little bit tempted by these. I just have so many blushes. I have to rein it in, especially when it comes to cream formulas. They don't last as long as powder, so I really shouldn't be buying this many formulas. I should probably just go and use my e.l.f. putty blushes that I've been neglecting at this point. Next up, we have new lip balms from LYS Beauty that are coming soon, and these don't have a release date yet, but they claim to be an ultra nourishing, high shine, juicy lip balm that hydrates and visibly plumps in one swipe. And they're also supposed to restore dry, chapped lips to a smooth, soft state and a glossy finish. So here's the thing, I love LYS. I was like, yes, I need these, but also that was like kind of a knee-jerk reaction, because when I really thought about it, I hate the triangle packaging. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I think their products are amazing, but they are so awkward to apply, especially the blushes. Like if you try to put the blushes on your cheek, it leaves like a weird triangle shape that you have to blend out. And I typically find myself like taking a brush and just kind of running it on top of the blush stick and then applying it directly from the brush instead of from the tube. With a lipstick, you're not necessarily going to do that. You can, but more often than not, I think people just apply straight from the tube. You're not going to go find a lip brush and try to put it on like that. So I don't know, maybe this shape would work better for lips because it has the pointed top, so it'll help you to define the lip line a little more. But there are already some incentivized reviews on the Sephora website, and I was looking at some of the photos, and the packaging does kind of look a little bit chunky for a lip product. I'll show you a couple of pictures. What do you guys think? Like compared to her hand, it seems like kind of a big size. And then this one shows the swatch, and I don't know if the swatch was that big in one swipe of the bullet or if she went back and forth a few times, but if it's that wide, I feel like these would be really hard to apply neatly to your lips. It seems like they would make a complete mess. And all of that aside too, do we really need another glossy lip balm? I mean, again, I'm sure these are really nice because I love LYS's formulas, and I think this does fill a hole in their range because I don't think they have many lip products. I want to say they have one matte lipstick, but that's in really slim, skinny packaging. So I guess as a brand, it makes sense for them to come out with something glossy like this, but it just feels like ever since Tarte's Maracuja Juicy Lips came out, every single brand has to do a plumping, shiny lip balm. And I did notice that some of the reviewers on the Sephora website were saying that these have a little bit of a tingle, which isn't my favorite. So I feel like for me, this is an easy pass. Next up, we have another peptide lip balm coming out. Rhode, is that you? Nope, it's actually Laneige. And I know that Rhode didn't invent peptide lip balms, but theirs going viral obviously didn't help because now everybody's coming out with them. I just saw that Cocoa Kind has a new one. We had the Inky List one, Ulla Henriksen. Like, there's just so many out on the market, and I'm sure we're gonna see more and more as we get into the spring. But admittedly, one thing that I do love about these new ones from Laneige is that they have a donut theme. So all of them are scented like donuts. We have cinnamon sugar, chocolate frosting, peach glaze, sugar glaze. They sound really delicious. And they're supposed to be kind of a serum-like texture with a really high shine finish. But when you look at the lip swatches, I feel like a lot of them kind of look the same or really close to each other. And I think that's kind of the thing with sheer lip balms like this. You're not going to get a ton of color payoff, so there's not a lot of difference between them. I do wonder how thin these are, because personally I love more of that thick, cushiony lip gloss as opposed to the really thin ones like the Rhode peptide balms. I found that those just kind of wore away super quickly when I wore them. So if these are similar to those, I don't know that I would love them. But one thing I did want to mention about these as well is the applicator. And feel free to disagree with me, but they're saying that it's a donut-shaped applicator. It's one of those round domed applicators. So think of something like the Vaseline Lip Therapy. That's the first one that comes to mind. It's like a dome with a little hole in the middle. But I get it with the Vaseline because it's so thick, like you have to really squeeze the tube to get it to come out. But with the Laneige ones, if you look at the photo, it looks like it's just kind of spilling out all over the place. So with a serum texture, I wonder if this type of applicator is just going to be really messy to apply, or if maybe they should have done it in other packaging. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I'll have to see what they're like in person. But personally, I like a more slanted lip applicator. I just find that it contours to your lips a little bit better than the round one. And I think Laneige is kind of getting into gimmick territory, doing the whole like donut applicator, and they have the donut theme and all of that. But I'm curious to see what you guys think of these. I believe these actually just launched. So I went on the Sephora website, I was looking at some of the reviews, and there are a couple that are non-incentivized that only have 2 stars. So I usually go for the non-incentivized reviews, and I also go for the lowest reviews because I want to see opinions other than people just gushing over the product, so we can kind of see what any possible issues are. So this one says, after using the product, I really enjoyed the applicator. I think it's super smoothing on the lips. As an everyday lippy, I don't think it's worth it to buy. Very sticky and has a scent which I don't like. And that person got the peach glaze. Another one said, very drying, like the sleeping mask. It sleeps good and looks nice on the lips, but I don't want dry lips, and that's how I use lip balm. Another one says, I'll be returning it. The texture of this lip serum feels really nice in your lips. However, after a minute to have it on makes my lips feel like they were burning, and I didn't like that. Sounds like maybe a reaction. Additionally, it has a very heavy fragrance, got me lightheaded. So I don't know, a lot of people complaining about the scent. I mean, the scent is kind of part of this with the whole donut theme. So I guess we'll see, but like I said, I really don't need any more tinted lip balms, lip glosses, any of that stuff. So I'm just gonna skip these as well. All right, so now we're kind of getting into some products that have already been released. So in another perfect example of brands not having 1 ounce of creativity or innovation, may I present the Tarte Hollywood Flawless Filter. I mean, the Creaseless Glow Skin Filter, my bad. Did I just call it Hollywood Flawless Filter? That was a Freudian slip because that's literally what I thought as soon as I saw this product. So yeah, it's yet another glowy primer slash highlighter. I hate to even call it a highlighter because it's not really that glowy. It looks like it's maybe more sheer. It's just another iteration of Charlotte Tilbury's Hollywood Flawless Filter, basically, or the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, or the other multitude of similar products like this on the market, both drugstore and high-end. I don't know what could possibly make this any different than those. It basically says use alone as a primer, mix it in, use it as a highlight topper. It's kind of the same verbiage and instructions that all of these other products say as well. So as of right now, this is available at the Tarte website and also on QVC. It hasn't made its way over to Sephora and Ulta yet. I'm sure it's only a matter of time, but I'm so bored with this type of product. Just like with the bronzing drops, it's like everyone has to come out with their own version of these things, and it's like exhausting after a while. But Tarte does have a new product out that I want to show you. This is the Maracuja Juicy Lip Stain Liner, and I'm kind of intrigued about this one. Again, this is just on their website for now, but I think when they come to Sephora and Ulta and I can see them in store, I want to check them out because CoverGirl has a similar product to this. They have those Outlast lip stain markers, and those are really drying. So they're not my favorite product in the world. I do use them on occasion if I really want my lip product to last a long time, but I have to kind of smother my lips in some type of balm and put that on top because they're extremely drying. You've probably tried a product like that at some point. It's those marker pens that just kind of disappear into your lips but leave not 1 ounce of hydration behind. But these, when I was looking at the ingredients, they have maracuja oil, hyaluronic acid, castor oil, and vitamin E. So my hope is that maybe these could actually be a more hydrating lip stain marker. And I also really love the sharp tip that these have. So I think that would be really useful when using them as a liner because most of these markers are a little bit thicker or have a blunter tip. But like I said, I'm just gonna have to wait for some reviews to come out and maybe see them, test them in person and see what they're like. But this is a product I actually might be interested in. We'll see. And speaking of lip liners, the new Rhode ones launched, and these are called Peptide Lip Shape. They're $24 each. They claim to be creamier and more seamless than a lip liner. And I mean, to me, they look a little chunkier than a normal lip liner would, almost like one of those crayons that's used to fill in your lips completely. So I don't know how much precision you can get with a product like this, but I did see a video that's been going around on TikTok, and I want to show this to you because to me, they seem like they might be a little bit too creamy. So let's take a look.
I spent $100 on the new Rhode lip contour, so you don't have to. An honest review. I got shades Twist, Balance, Lean, and Stretch, and the colors are gorgeous. The formula is super creamy and goes on really easy. Unfortunately, also comes off really easily. This is what the product looks like. It's really thick, and for $23, this is how much product you get. Even though these are a lip contour, you cannot overline your lip with them, and I'll show you why in a second. On this side, I'm just gonna do it on my normal lip border. On this side, I'm going to overline, which I like to do. Just up here, and then down here I do my normal lip border. It's not really easy to apply them because they're so thick, unfortunately, so that's why you see me struggling. I usually don't struggle as much. The reason I said you can't overline with this product is because it looks like absolute when you do. Lip peptide treatment. And look at how the product separates. Spend 15 minutes. Forget trying to overline. You never want to overline with this product. It's just really bad. But it's really easy to remove. You can just wipe it off like that.
Yeah, so this completely turned me off from these liners. As soon as I saw it, I thought, no way, because you see how easily they just kind of swiped right off of her hand. And seeing someone actually apply them confirmed to me how thick the bullet is, and it doesn't look like you get a lot of product either for $24. If you take, let's say, a normal lip liner, like this $2 one from e.l.f. that you have to sharpen, you have pretty much this whole thing. Like you can sharpen this giant pencil and get so much use out of it that just seems like such a ripoff to me. And I do definitely like a lip liner to be creamy, but not so creamy that it's sliding all over the place. You need to be able to define a border and have it stay put. That's kind of the whole point of lip liner, and these just don't seem like they'll be able to do that. So I'm definitely passing on these. I really like their cream blushes and I like their skincare products, but these just don't seem like they're worth it to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Next up, we have yet another example of NYX beating a dead horse. First, we have all of the buttermelt stuff. Now we have them just going all in with the fat oil. First, we had the regular fat oils. Then we had the fat oil slick clicks. These are the fat oil lip drips. It's just getting so repetitive. Like, I can't. These come in 4 shades. They're supposed to have a cooling effect on your lips. To me, just looking at the pictures, they don't look like they offer much in the way of color. I mean, there's like a blue one, a green one. I just feel like, where's the fun in that? I don't I don't understand this launch other than just capitalizing on the success of their fat lip oils and just add yet another product to the line. I mean, I guess some people do like the lip products that have the cooling effect. I'm not one of them, but maybe they would be appealing for that reason. But otherwise, I don't get the point. There's only 4 shades. They don't look like they show up as anything. Why not just wear the regular fat lip oils? I'm really confused about this launch. I don't know if it's just me. All right, let's see what's next. We have over at Ulta Beauty, I saw these new eye paints from About Face, and they have 3 holographic shades. Honestly, I love this brand. Everything I've tried from them so far has been really great. And I have my eye on the Lilac Twin shade in this range, but I definitely have to swatch it in store and just maybe see what the formula is like, because I feel like liquid eyeshadows can be really finicky. Some of them are amazing, like the Stila ones, some of them not so much. I do really enjoy Moira's Diamond Days liquid eyeshadows, and I have a bunch of those, so I definitely don't need to spend money on these. I mean, I don't need liquid eyeshadows to begin with, but I guess I'm just kind of curious about the formula because I love this brand, and so far everything I've tried from them has been really good. So I think that alone is just piquing my interest with these, but I do wish they came out with more than 3 shades. These look really pretty, but who knows, if they end up being popular, maybe they'll expand the line. And another product that I really find interesting is this new GrandeWrap tubing mascara from Grande. I have had so many requests from you guys to try this because it's tubing formula, and I talk about tubing mascaras a lot. I mean, that's basically my favorite type of formula right now. So I know I did write back and tell you guys I had to look up the formula first to find out if it has the prostaglandins like their lash serum does. I cannot use their lash serum. It irritates my lash line so badly. And because this mascara is by Grande, I thought that they might include some of the lash serum into the mascara. A lot of brands do that, but thankfully it looks like they didn't. I went through the ingredient list. I don't see any lash growth type ingredients at all. So I'm definitely going to be trying this one. The brush actually looks similar to the Benefit They're Real mascara, and that mascara gives me such huge lashes, but I don't like it because it smudges under my eyes. So this one being a tubing formula, it shouldn't do that. And I have hopes that it's going to be good. I didn't see whether they have a mini or not, but if they do, I think I'll definitely buy that instead of shelling out $25 for the big one because it's kind of expensive, but it's also in line with like what the Thrive liquid lash extensions costs, and I love that one, so we shall see. But anyway, that is all I have for right now. Like I said before, if you want me to do this on a weekly or semi-weekly basis, let me know because there's always new things coming out to talk about all the time, and I would love to get your opinions on all of this new makeup as well and find out whether you agree or disagree with me. So definitely don't be shy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you have a little bit of extra time and you'd like to watch another video, I'll put something right there that you could check out next. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.